Welcome back to the Hero's Journey. I am your empowerment guide and fellow superhero, Venus the Goddess. This is Arc 13, The Will to Live, Purpose, Peace, and the Art of Surrender. This is a pre recorded lecture, so please feel free to pause at any time to take a break. Just note the time on the video, that way you don't lose your place. Let's begin. Objective. The objective of this arc is to understand life as a biological and philosophical phenomenon, to cultivate a sense of purpose and happiness, and to develop the skills of acceptance and surrender as pathways to inner peace. What does it mean to be alive? In biology, life is defined by a set of shared characteristics and processes that distinguish active living organisms from inanimate matter. This is the difference between a rock and a ladybug. The distinct characteristics and processes are order. Life is highly structured and organized, primarily based on the cell as the fundamental unit of life. Homeostasis and regulation. Organisms actively maintain stable internal conditions, such as body temperature or pH level, despite changes in their external environment. Energy processing. Living things take in energy, like food or sunlight, and transform it to perform cellular work, drive metabolism, and maintain internal order. Response to stimulus. Living entities detect and react to their surrounding environment. Growth and development. Organisms grow and develop according to instructions coded in their DNA. Reproduction. Living things can produce new individuals of their own kind, passing on their genetic traits. And finally, evolution and adaptation. Populations of living organisms change over generations, adapting to their environments to survive and reproduce. What is the purpose of life? What's the purpose of this incredibly complex phenomena we call life? To be alive is to want to remain alive. From a biological standpoint, the objective purpose of life is survival. Species survive through two primary mechanisms: reproduction and adaptation. Reproduction ensures the continuation of the species by passing genetic information to the next generation. Adaptation ensures the survival of the individual and ultimately the species by allowing organisms to adjust to changing environments and to overcome new threats. Life's only job is to stay in the game. Self preservation. Life finds a way. I'm simply saying that life finds a way. Life will not be contained. Life breaks free and expands to new territories. Painfully, perhaps even dangerously, but life finds a way. Jurassic Park. Against the odds, life on this planet appeared as simple single-celled microbes in the ocean between 3.7 billion and 4.2 billion years ago. 1 billion years ago, those single-celled organisms evolved into more complex multicellular life forms. Then, 541 million years ago, life exploded in sudden biodiversity, the Cambrian explosion. The Cambrian explosion was an interval of rapid evolutionary diversification spanning roughly 13 to 25 million years. It marks the sudden appearance in the fossil record of nearly all major modern animal phyla. Earth is estimated to be 4.54 billion years old. Over the past 500 million years, our ancient planet has endured five major mass extinctions called the Big Five. The first, the Ordovician, which occurred 443 million years ago. When it took place, severe climate cooling and dropping sea levels wiped out an estimated 85% of all marine species. The late Denovian, Devonian, sorry, which occurred 359 million years ago. It was a period of prolonged environmental changes and fluctuating oxygen levels in the oceans that eliminated about 75% of all species. Then it was the Permian Triassic. This occurred 252 million years ago. Often called the Great Dying, this was the most catastrophic event, wiping out roughly 96% of all marine species and 70% of land species, primarily driven by massive volcanic eruptions. Then the Triassic Jurassic mass extinction, which occurred 201 million years ago. Massive volcanic activity and climate change led to the extinction of about 50% of all species, paving the way for dinosaurs to dominate the Jurassic period. Then it was the Cretaceous Paleogene, which most people are familiar with. This occurred 66 million years ago. A massive asteroid impact combined with volcanic activity wiped out about 75% of all life, famously ending the era of the non-avian dinosaurs. You actually can see the crater from the impact of this asteroid. It's near the Gulf of Mexico. I forget the name of the crater, what they call it, but it is responsible for killing the dinosaurs, all except for the flying dinosaurs. And modern birds, such as chickens and robins and cardinals, they are the ancestors of these avian dinosaurs. So you see, even after mass extinctions, life still finds a way. Scientists are actually saying that we're on the brink of a sixth mass extinction. Unfortunately, that will be caused by human beings, so it will be self-inflicted. This is because of climate change, pollution, deforestation, all the damage that we're causing to the planet. Um, but the good news is that these things, the damage isn't irreversible. We can reverse the damage, but we have to act now. So, for your own awareness and even for your own research, go look it up. You can Google it, the sixth mass extinction. I forget what they're calling it, but it's going to be, done by human hands. But, even still, life will find a way. All throughout Earth's history, there has been a cycle of mass extinctions and the new emergence of life. After each extinction, life found a way. Life adapted and reproduced. Creation followed destruction. Call it the sacred dance of life. Rebirth is not an exception, it's the pattern. What drives survival? What drives us to fight or flee when we are in danger? What drives us to love and bear children? What drives us to get up in the morning when life gives you every reason to give up? What drives survival? What motivates us to persist despite the inevitable? What makes us so stubborn? There are three forces that drive survival. One, the will to live. That is the raw, ancient, non negotiable determination. Then there's resilience, the ability to bend without breaking. And then a sense of purpose, the felt reason to keep going. Will and resilience keep you alive. Purpose makes you want to stay alive. Let's take a brief pause here before moving into the next subject. Please use this moment to get a drink of water, sip some tea if you're a tea drinker like myself, stretch your legs, stretch your back out, or simply practice impromptu meditation. You can practice your breathing, inhale and exhale, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. All right. What is a sense of purpose? The purpose of life is survival, but a sense of purpose is thriving. A sense of purpose is the felt experience that your life has direction, meaning, and value. That what you do matters to someone or something beyond the present moment. It is a stable, long term intention to achieve goals that are both personally meaningful and positively impact the world beyond yourself. Having a sense of purpose is directly tied to mental and physical well being. Research shows that individuals with a strong sense of purpose often experience better health, including living longer, increased resilience, and greater motivation. Purpose doesn't require religion or grandiosity or some cosmic objective truth. It only requires belief that our actions matter. Your purpose might be to empower others. Purpose can be found in raising a family, volunteering, creating art, or simply being a supportive friend. Your sense of purpose is not a destination, it evolves as you move through different life stages and experiences. Explore new hobbies. Hobbies are fantastic tools for building a sense of purpose. Examples of hobbies are fishing, kayaking, horseback riding, gaming, reading, studying history or science, playing chess, bird watching, painting, baking, writing, crafting, volunteering, and joining a recreational sports team like volleyball. Challenge. I challenge you to explore one new hobby this week. All right, beloved, let's take another pause before moving into the next subject. These pauses are great because they help for information to be able to absorb better into your brain. All right, evolution of human consciousness. Human consciousness has been evolving for millions of years. Basic sentient awareness is believed to have emerged hundreds of millions of years ago, while complex symbolic thought, which is the ability to plan, use language, and create art, co evolved alongside the expansion of the human brain over the last 300,000 years. The evolution of symbolic thought and abstract cognition is what allows modern humans to create, share, and pursue a sense of purpose. Our early ancestors felt pain, pleasure, attachment, and fear. They had a sensory experience, but they couldn't reflect or give these experiences meaning. Symbolic thought transforms raw biological sensations into art, culture, and shared human experiences. We don't just feel pain, we write poetry about it. Life found a way through the evolution of human consciousness. Our consciousness evolved to create meaning and purpose in life. We no longer experience suffering, we transcend it. If there's a will, there's a way. There's no challenge in life you can't overcome with the right attitude. We are hardwired for survival, driven by the will to live. We are not ill equipped for life's challenges. We have superpowers, strength, resilience, courage, and the flexibility to adapt, heal, and thrive. You are a superhero. We're going to take another brief pause here. All right, superhero. Learn from nature. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Albert Einstein. Nature teaches us profound life lessons, including resilience, patience, balance, interconnectedness, and the necessity of change. By observing its cycles, we learn that growth requires both effort and rest. Adversity builds strength, and every ending is a stepping stone to new beginnings. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Nature never rushes, yet everything is accomplished. Healing takes time, especially when you've been hurting for a while. But with persistence and love, you can heal. So keep moving forward like a river. The pursuit of happiness. Happiness is a state of emotional well being characterized by positive emotions and life satisfaction. Like pain, happiness is temporary, but you can cultivate enduring happiness by prioritizing deep relationships, practicing gratitude, engaging in meaningful work, and aligning your daily habits with your core values. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you create. The core ingredients of happiness: enjoyment, the blend of pleasure, people, and positive memories; satisfaction, the feeling of accomplishment that comes from working towards your goals; and meaning, a sense of purpose that extends beyond yourself. A grateful heart finds happiness everywhere. To build a life of enduring happiness, you can focus on these actionable lifestyle shifts. 1. Invest in relationships. The longest running studies on happiness highlight that deep, supportive personal relationships are the single greatest predicator of a happy, healthy life. 2. Practice gratitude and generosity. Regularly appreciating what you have and helping others shifts your focus outward and deeply boosts fulfillment. 3. Embrace meaningful work. Striving to use your unique gifts and skills in service of a larger cause generates deep, lasting satisfaction. 4. Seek out transcendence. Cultivate regular contact with beauty, whether through art, nature, music, or a guiding personal philosophy. 5. Set attainable goals. Avoid relying purely on instant gratification. Instead, balance daily pleasures with steady progress toward long term goals to maintain healthy emotional well being. Most people are as happy as they make up their minds to be. Abraham Lincoln. Extensive research shows that happiness positively boosts the immune system, strengthens cardiovascular disease or health, leads to a longer lifespan, reduces pain, quickens recovery, and lowers stress. Happiness is medicine. Happiness is not a station you arrive at, but a manner of traveling. Margaret Lee Runbeck. Happiness is a conscious choice, an internal state, and a journey rather than a destination. How can you practice happiness today? I'm going to take another brief pause here before moving into cultivating inner peace. All right, cultivating inner peace. Serenity is not freedom from the storm, but peace amid the storm. Inner peace is an internal state of balance, acceptance, and even mindedness. It's not about avoiding life's challenges, but rather navigating them with a calm and centered mind. Inner peace is an anchor in the chaos. At every moment, keep a sturdy mind on the task at hand, giving yourself a break from all other considerations. Inner peace requires daily commitment to anchor yourself in the present, process your emotions, and let go of things outside of your control. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The Buddha. Daily practices that help to cultivate inner peace. 1. Mindfulness meditation. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Sit comfortably and focus solely on your breathing. Watch your thoughts drift by like clouds in the sky without engaging with them. 2. Disconnect. Take 5 to 10 minutes for total silence. Put away your devices to do your to-do lists and any thoughts of tomorrow. 3. Journaling. Dedicate time to write down what you are grateful for and reframe any negative thoughts holding you back. If you've watched the other arcs in this program, you may already be doing these things. You may already be incorporating these practices in your daily life. And these practices are the foundation for inner peace, cultivating happiness and inner peace. You won't have inner peace until you give up your war against the world. Practice acceptance. Accept the present moment exactly as it is without resistance. Stop attaching to outcomes. Value what you are doing in the present moment rather than obsessing over the result. Let go of grudges. Forgive yourself and others. Holding on to past anger and shame acts as a significant mental prison. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Dalai Lama. Regulate your nervous system. Slow your breathing, stretch often, and prioritize sleep. Declutter. Organize your physical surroundings. Clearing out your space brings order to your life and heavily reduces mental clutter. When your physical space is clean, then your mental space becomes symbolically clean as well. Connect with nature. Spend time outdoors to appreciate quietude and step away from information overload. Step away from the computers, the iPads, the phones, the devices, and just get out in nature. Breathe in that air and just enjoy the sunlight hitting your face. True peace is being outside. Wei Wu. Wei Wu is a Taoist concept often translated as effortless action or action without force. It is the art of doing without straining, flowing without resisting, and achieving without controlling. It means acting in harmony with the natural order of things, like a river flowing around a rock. The river does not fight the rocks in its path, it naturally flows around them, adapting to its circumstances. So be like a river and flow around your challenges, flow around obstacles instead of resisting them. All right, let's take another pause here before moving into our final subject matter. Take this moment to practice breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. Take a few moments to practice this. All right, beloved, surrender and acceptance. Taoism teaches that constantly focusing on what you don't want only gives it power. By obsessing over negatives, fears, or things you want to avoid, you create attachment and internal suffering. A core tenet of living in harmony with the Tao or the Way is learning to let go. For peace of mind, we need to resign as general manager of the universe. Frustration arises when you try to violently enforce your personal plans or will onto the world. The hard truth is that you can't control external outcomes. You can't control circumstances or other people. The only true control you possess is over your own responses, choices, actions, and thoughts. You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. Control is an illusion. The deep craving to manage every detail of life often stems from past experiences where you felt unsafe and unpredictable. It acts as an illusion of safety to protect against future pain. Trying to control people or uncontrollable situations often results in stress, fight or flight nervous system responses, and damaged relationships. Surrender the need to control. Acceptance. Acceptance is acknowledging reality as it is without resisting, judging, or trying to change it. It is the conscious decision to stop fighting, denying, or struggling against facts that you cannot change. Resistance creates unnecessary suffering. Suffering comes from judgment of reality and the desire for reality to be something other than what it is. You can't always control the wind, but you can control yourselves. We live in a reality where pain and endings are inevitable. We also live in a reality where joy and new beginnings are inevitable. Instead of resisting or trying to avoid what is, accept what is and make a choice of what your next move will be. Example, you're restless and you can't sleep. Instead of forcing yourself to sleep, which is resistance, accept what is, which is sleeplessness, and watch a movie or read a book. That is choosing your next move. Another example, you're stuck in traffic. Instead of getting angry or frustrated, which is resistance, accept that accept what is, which is the traffic, and call a friend or listen to music. That is a choice of what your next move it will be. See, you may not be able to control, you know, everything in life, but you always have a choice. You have a choice to either resist, which is like pushing up against a rock or a wall, or like the river, flowing around it, consciously choosing your next move. That's where true power lies, in your choice. Your choice not to allow things that you can't change to upset you. All right, homework time. Homework. So, this week I would like for you to try one new hobby. Any hobby, as long as it's new. Do it for at least an hour and then write down how it made you feel afterwards. So, in your hero's journal, write down how, engaging in this particular hobby made you feel. Next, I want you to practice acceptance. Identify one situation this week that you cannot control. Write it down. Write down what it is. Then write, I cannot control this situation. I can control my response. My response will be X, Y, and Z. So then you choose whatever your response will be. Next, I would like for you to cultivate inner peace daily. So you can do this through mindfulness, meditating, disconnecting, journaling, or decluttering. So, clean up around you. Um, you can put into your daily routine, every day that you wake up, make up your bed. It can be light surface cleaning. I know our schedules can be busy sometimes, not allowing us to do too much, but please find time to declutter, and find time to cultivate your inner peace. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to make sure your cup is full before you can give to others. So pour love into yourself this week by trying a new hobby, practicing acceptance, and by cultivating inner peace in your daily life. This homework assignment is due 1 week from the completion of this video. Again, no assignments are need to be submitted. They are simply for your own personal practice. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of ARC 13. We're going to talk about credits very briefly. I'm going to go through the credits very briefly, rather. The research for this presentation was conducted using a variety of sources, including authoritative books, scientific publications, and AI-assisted research tools used to synthesize and verify complex information. If you would like to learn more about any of the subjects presented, I encourage you to do your own research. This presentation contains images and diagrams used under the fair use for educational and commentary purposes within an original work. All visual media are the property of their respective creators. No copyright infringement is intended. Last but not least, I do offer private sessions. So if you would like to book a virtual one-on-one mentoring session with me, you can email me at thegoddessxx@gmail.com. Sessions are 60 minutes at a rate of $150 per hour. Also, voluntary offerings. If you would like to donate to this channel, my Cash App is #VTheGoddessXX. All right, thank you for joining me for ARC 13. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Please take all the things that you learned within this ARC and apply it to your daily life. You know, happiness and peace are not things that you have to seek and find. There are things that you create within yourself. And remember, you are worthy of happiness. You are worthy of peace. And you have the power of giving yourself these things. So, beloved, I love you. And I will see you next arc. And I hope that you have a peaceful, happy, blissful day. Bye.